Good day, Uprising crew. I didn't expect to start off with the God help me breath, but here we are. So, last week, week 8, we've really been getting it there. We're down to the last 4 weeks, right? We got to go through your internal blockages and the things that come up from within that are limiting beliefs or patterns that stop you from reaching your manifestation, right? This week, we need to talk about how the external is a reflection of that. But also, after you start dealing with the internal stuff, the external stuff like pours in. So I got up today. I was like, I have this list of videos I have to do. I haven't done my uprising video this week and I can't fall off a week. So I was like, let me just get in here. But I'm like, I don't have anything positive and uplifty to say. But I think that's the right reason why I was instructed to do this along with you guys instead of recording 12 weeks in advance and then popping out like, wow, after I already did it and leaving you all the information. No, I was instructed to go through the process with you guys so we can be hands-on, right? This week, I made a note that this video would be about how everything that is already positioned to be a blockage in your life, or that is already a blockage, whether you're aware of it or not, starts to come up when you decide you want something different. Blockages to your manifestations present themselves not as deterrents or ways to stop you from getting what you want, but it's supposed to be you getting allowed the opportunity, the perseverance, the resilience to make it through them. I was getting a lot of initiation type messages like, hey, you're being tested. If you stay steadfast during the test, it will eventually wane away and you'll get the reward for the hard work that you put in, as opposed to if you give up during the process and say that's no longer what you want. It's like if it was really easy to manifest the things you wanted, everybody would just be doing that and the place would be a mess. I don't know if you've seen the movie Bruce Almighty, but there's a moment where this guy that has been given the gifts of God realizes he has to answer prayers too. So he puts them all into an email and his email gets like overflowed really quick. So he's like, hey, I am God. I got other things to do besides answering these emails all the time. So he just says yes to all, right? Next thing you know, the whole city is in chaos because there is no balance when there is a yes to all. There are these initiations or these tests put in place to make sure those people that really want it, those people that really deserve it, who went through the trials and tribulations that will, in some ways, because you know it can go left or right, make them the type of person that is suitable for this thing. So that's what's coming up for week 9. Let me give y'all a good example because like I'm doing this in real time with you guys. So I got shadow banned, right? So all my posts were like going from the usual hundreds of likes and comments and stuff to like 6, 2. So of course I freak out. Like, oh my gosh, this is my job. Nobody's seeing my stuff. Like I'm gonna be in trouble. But I sat down in the middle of my freak out and I put on my 999 frequency because I need to lock into God. I need to talk into something higher than myself to help me understand the over because I am in the middle of the game. I needed additional insight, which is pretty much what prayer is. Prayer is you tapping in to say what you need to get it off your chest. And meditation is receiving the answer back, opening yourself to receive the answers. The synchronicities are all signs that are meant to help you along the way, to let you know that you're being guided in the direction and you're never alone. So when I sat down, I started getting the message like, hey, think about what have you been manifesting for yourself? What have you been asking for? What have you written down in your notebooks that you wanted to achieve? Months and months and months ago, even if I go back to my voice notes, because I started this off with voice notes instead of like writing stuff down, I was saying how I wanted to Go back to my original structure with memes being a big thing, because I got into like the real theological, philosophical long posts and stuff. And I felt like it was a miss and it wasn't hitting everybody that it needed to. But in my mind, this whole time, what I've been wanting to do is take it back to the original structure, put like little blurbs with my memes, but all the stuff that leads back to the website where I actually start a blog. And then I have a members only area, which I have a monthly fee for the people that really want to know the stuff that I'm like typing out. I want to get more into being a writer instead of just a post maker or a content creator. That was not happening because I was stuck in the pattern. I have to do this. There are certain likes, there are certain things I have to take care of. But when the shadow banning happened and I was not at a loss for finances, I did not go without anything. It gave me a moment to realize like, oh, I was still operating in this mindset, my Mrs. Independent mindset, my I have to be in control mindset. And it was taken away from what Source was trying to do for me. But meditation is revelation. So I'm starting to move towards my manifestation in a new way now. This over here looks like it got blocked or it got diminished, but it was so I could focus on what I actually wanted to manifest instead of going in loops, doing the thing that will eventually drain me of all my energy. Like sometimes I'm talking about like big concepts and it confuses people more than those that get it. If I could separate my like muggle content for everybody who's into astrology from my rabbit hole content and like charge for what my specialty or my uniqueness is, then it would be a whole different flow for me. And that would open up the opportunities that I want to do my travel, to work from different places, to do all that stuff. So something that looked like it was trying to defeat me or knock me off my stuff was actually just something being brought to my attention, a block that needed to be removed or I was going to keep making the same mistake. So doing this level 9, and this video's mini compared to the other ones, just know that not every bad thing or bad thing that comes up is meant to be negative. Maybe it's pointing out something negative that's already happening that you were just letting go by. Maybe it's giving you the opportunity to put your foot down and say, okay, that's enough of that. Let me stick to my guns and do what I said I was going to do because I was resting on my laurels. So in order to get what you want, you got to give up something that you no longer need. This is the perfect message because we're in the new moon in full moon in Gemini, which is about releasing. So today, because Gemini is also writing in text, I will do a whole thing where I write out what I want to release. Yes, manifesting tears up your life. Why is that? Because you have to take pieces of your own little Rubik's Cube and you got to move this color here and to make sure they're lining up. So of course, when you're doing that, it's going to look a mess for a little bit. Don't try to grade your project while you are still putting the project together, or you'll never have the motivation to complete it. You have to hold and lock in your mind the idea of what you wanted for yourself. And every time something comes up to try to block that, what does this have to do with my manifestation? What is this trying to do to move me towards my manifestation? And at the times that you get stuck or you need help, prayer is always available. You always get an answer. You always get a result. If you do not believe that, once again, think back to another time when you thought it was impossible. You weren't going to get out of that situation. You were just screwed. And then reflect on the fact that you're here now and you're not screwed. You made it past that situation. Your mind plays way more tricks on you than I feel is fair. Like, that's not okay. But knowing that your mind is the thing that is controlling this game, and it's the thing actually effing with you, it gives you the ability to say, okay, let's unpack this. So I have been doing my affirmations. I can't come off them. I got it. The first thing I do before I even like fully step into the day, I got to do my affirmations, get my mindset, get this already stuck in here first. Then I do my little Reiki healing things. Then I do my meditation. I have to set a firm foundation. And thankfully, during this last 9 weeks, I did achieve making that my regular routine. Getting a routine was really important for me. Now, getting down a work routine, that's another thing. But finally doing something about the things that were stopping me from going after what I wanted in life, just living a life of existence and doing what needs to be done and just making myself available for everybody because I didn't really feel like I had a place in my life. Like I'm just here as a servant. I'll one day die, and that's all that matters as long as I did what I was supposed to do. And that's no way to go about life at all. I was a background character in my own existence. One thing I'm taking from this uprising thing is that it is moving me from background character to the main character in my existence, my own lead. And it's uncomfortable, especially when you're somebody who is used to doing everything for everybody and sort of holding your hands behind your back, like the butler. So saying no or saying, hey, I don't have time for that, or yeah, I can't give you that for free, or all sorts of stuff like that, it hurts me as much as it hurts the person that I'm saying it to. But I had no boundaries. I did not have any boundaries. And I'm pretty sure my health one day would have reflected that. It in some ways does already reflect that. Like I used to eat my feelings all the time. Now I get mad when we have to talk about food or stuff. Because as far as I'm concerned, I could just pick or I can eat the same thing every day. Food is not the top of my pyramid. And it used to be the only thing I looked forward to. Crazy, right? The only thing I look forward to. When we eat lunch, when we eat breakfast, when we eat dinner, like all of that. Now I'm like, do we have something to drink? I would much rather. And I did just